I would say I learned a whole lot. It's probably the class that I learned the most from, this past quarter, purely because I was able to have the space to learn about cloud computing in kind of a more of a low risk environment. Amir made it very accessible to learn and to, never be concerned or, that you're going to look stupid if you're asking for help. I would recommend any course that Amir teaches. I think the method that he presents the information and the amount of guest speakers that he has and how approachable he is, I just feel like I learned so much in this course through incredible teaching, through incredible guest lectures, and also through a lot of flexibility. I think for me personally, I was TAing a class at the same time as one of the courses. And so Amir made it super accessible for me to access recordings and to stay caught up with the material. And he was always available if I had any questions. And so I feel very lucky to have taken this class and to have learned so much. And I can, actually talk about cloud services and know what that means.
Yeah, I think one, just Amir is an incredible teacher. He really, really cares. And if you show up and put in the time and just, are enthusiastic, I mean, there is like no length he won't go to help you. And he really sort of like that's shown through on my final project. And he sort of really just took the time to make sure I understood what I was doing, that I got it, and helped me. And I'd say, like, not only is that my opinion, but I was blown away at the people that came in to speak. Eric Topol, who's doing all this, COVID and everything else, took an hour out of his day to talk to us about his work and how he collaborated with Amir, and so did a number of other just really fantastic professors. And I think, aside from my sort of glowing reviews, that was just a real testament to me that the work he's doing is really special and that he's sort of a really special teacher.
I would recommend it, I guess, one for the reasons I have just said. It's a good bridge between several different fields. I would also recommend Amir to anyone as a professor. He's one of the only professors I've had here that reaches out to me personally, asks how I'm doing, probably, knows me by name when I see him in the hallway or in the street or wherever it is. So I do really feel that, he cares, and he cares about our learning, not just about our, product or our final project. He cared all along the way. How are you doing with the class? How's Stanford Data Ocean? How's the project developing? And it felt like, he was really invested in my performance and my learning process.
I think I would recommend this course for, 3 reasons. The first reason is just mostly the practicality of it. I think it's really important information that you don't necessarily learn, or at least in my personal experience, I didn't necessarily learn when I was doing computational research. I learned more so how to do the research and not necessarily why we use certain resources, and didn't necessarily have the background to know, understand why we're computing in a certain way. And so I think from a practicality standpoint, it's a really good overview, and you get to learn a lot about different, using Docker, containerization, and things like that. All of those things I had done in the past, but I never actually learned what they were. So I really enjoyed that part, and I recommend this to people who are potentially interested in continuing, research and computing and all those things. The second reason I would suggest is I really liked the professor's teaching method. I thought it was really helpful because he was so available, especially over Slack. If I had any questions about the problem set or about the course project, he was so available to answer questions. And I really liked that also over Slack, you could kind of communicate with other students as well. And so be able to have that collaborative environment as well. That was something I enjoyed. I also like that it brought in industry speakers as well who, worked with AWS or Google Cloud, and having that kind of industry insight is also helpful for someone who, like myself, who has mostly worked in academic settings. And then the last reason I recommend it is because you learn so much while you do the final project. You have a lot of freedom to decide what type of topic you can choose. So I really enjoyed that because I could work on something I was interested in, or work on maybe a project that you're already interested in. But you also get to really scale it up and think about how you can expand it even beyond what you were doing previously, and take it to a new like scalability level. So yeah, I really like that as well.
Yeah, I think it's a great opportunity to like get a hands-on experience, like dealing with medical data, and also like learning about, like, I guess from my perspective, coming from more of the CS stats, like it's cool to see like a specific field and how like your skills can translate to the field. And so we like really saw that here. And yeah, the like course project was really fun, and we got to like work with big data and also like leverage it's like a small class. We got to like work with Amir and some of the other staff members like directly, which is cool.
Yeah, I just thought it was fun. I think Amir did a really good job making the class relevant, and then also bringing in guest lecturers from a variety of different fields, so we could see how these things that he was talking about in lecture were being used in the real world. I think were really, really valuable.
I would recommend this course to my friends and also my colleagues, because I really appreciated the instructors who are leading this course. Dr. Bhamani is amazing, and I needed a lot of help in terms of navigating all these different languages and also the systems. I would sometimes get lost, but the professor was super encouraging, very passionate in making sure that the students understand and get the help needed in order to be able to complete assignments and also learn what's going on. So even though this was my very first computer science class or bioinformatics course, I felt like I went through this class understanding and having a great sense of where I am at. And I give credit to the TAs and the professors and a lot of the guest speakers.
No, take it. The teaching team is so great. The topics that you learn are so relevant, especially in a world after COVID. And it's actually easier than you think it is. Genomics data is huge, I get it. But with the right solution, I think it's pretty easy to get started. And the teaching team is always going to be there helping you out. So yeah, I don't see a reason why not to take this course. Prof. Amir is great.